You don't want to be a doormat. I don't. Got it.
How many times in your life have you caught yourself thinking that you're a doormat? Sometimes you swallowed insults, knew they were using you, but still let it slide. Don't you think this is already becoming systemic? That it's becoming a part of your character, a part of your personality, a part of your habits?
Who are you in life? You're a sucker, got it. And your buddies are the same.
I understand why. You want to run from conflicts. You don't want to spoil relationships with people. But you see, nothing will ruin your life as much as the people around you realizing that you can be walked all over, that they can save money at your expense. Sure, you can think it's no big deal, just trivial stuff, not worth it, not worth attention. But let's take an honest look at the situation here. Would you be happy if you saw your son being treated like that? Would you say it's normal, or would you demand that he stand up for himself?
It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how well you can take a hit, how you move forward. If you're going to go, then go, as long as you don't chicken out.
That's the only way to win.
Why do you let people treat you in a way you wouldn't let them treat those close to you? It's very simple. You don't respect yourself. How do you expect others to respect you if you don't respect yourself? Until you learn to set boundaries and demand respect, all these things that happen more and more each year will eventually turn into such a personal hell that you won't be able to get out of it. You'll just end up in it. My dear, no miracle will happen. Set boundaries, or everyone will use you, even family. You must assert yourself. I want to help because they beat me really badly all my childhood. I ate that crap by heaping spoonfuls. I know how hard it is to escape. And I understand how hard it is to admit it to yourself, to start crawling out, and to become disillusioned with people. But I can't even say that you're to blame for anything here. You've been screwed over since childhood. You're born clueless about the world. Teachers, caregivers, parents come to you and start explaining. Just always do what everyone says. Above all, don't get into conflicts with anyone. No need to argue. And you're just endlessly stuffed with this idea that you have to let everything slide. That no matter what happens, you shouldn't escalate conflicts. You shouldn't sort things out. You shouldn't demand a reevaluation of how you're treated.
Look, what color are the little pyramids? Both are white. Little one, what color are the little pyramids? Both are white. Lunachka, what color are the little pyramids? Both are white. Please move the little black one closer to you. And why did you say it's white?
See, they also said it's white. They said so. And I followed them.
I understand perfectly well that you were defenseless when these infoviruses were being programmed into your head. Work. Ditch them. Confident. Everywhere. Fearless. But it's obvious that I wasn't born this way. And moreover, I was a modest teenager. I was impressionable. I was easily embarrassed. And from my own experience, I formulated 5 basic principles that, at the time, were not just counterintuitive for me. They were mind-blowing. It was like believing the earth was flat and then finding out it's a sphere in space. And I'm about to tell you these 5 principles. First, honest people are respected more than agreeable people. We have this idea that we are always expected to play along, to be a sort of backup dancer. It's like, honey, do I look good today? You understand that it's a kind of social contract where you have to guess what she really wants to hear and then say it. But experience shows that movie heroes, book heroes, some legendary acquaintances in your circles, in your social groups, are not the most pleasant ones. They are not the sweetest pill. These are precisely the ones who boldly and openly demonstrate their honesty. I can't help but cite the famous, unforgettable Vladimir Zhirinovsky as an example.
He gives the same answer every time. I offer him money. He won't take it. How will he work? Where from? Who taught him? Mom. No, Dad. And what about the woman? What's he doing there? Dad. They give him money. He says, no, I'm telling you, honestly, you'll die. No money is honest. All money is stolen worldwide.
What kind of person was he? How did he dish it out? To whom did he dish it out? Pay attention to the immense popular love he had. How his speeches were quoted everywhere. And why were they? Because he was nice, all sweet and cloying? No. Maybe he was even wrong. Maybe he was even rude. But he was honest. And in our age of deceit, a certain spinelessness, duplicity, and lack of principles, I want to explain why we highly value and respect honest people, because you feel calm with them. When you're with an honest person, you don't have to worry about their hidden agenda, what they're really up to. You feel calm around such a person, even if the content of their honesty might be hurtful or offensive to you. So, once again, dear friends, try this as an experiment, and you will see how much trust and respect for you increases when you choose to be honest where people expected you to be accommodating. So a guy gets a job, somewhere as a courier, or even in some kind of entry-level position. Fired. That is, it's very difficult to be honest when you don't have much influence on the world. That's the heroism. I have endless examples. Business owners, right now, anyone well off, back me up in the comment. When you speak to someone lower in status, a courier, a waiter, others, and by habit and haste, show disrespect. No. Stop. You turn around, look, and make a mental note. He's got balls. Classic movie trope. Nowadays, the villain's a businessman, banker, respecting bold defiance. You just don't need to confuse honesty with senseless rudeness here. Honesty, as the classic wrote, should be handed like a coat, not hurled at faces. Honesty is a quality that needs to be cultivated, and it is cultivated only on the basis of competence. Honesty is easy when you're rich, strong, independent, owing no one, but hard when you depend on everyone. This is exactly why I created my project, Baza, where I help people build competencies in all areas of life: health, prosperity, social connections, intellect. So there's room to be yourself honestly, rather than adapting because you lack the strength. Link to my Telegram in the video description.
A person wants to fight for something, wants to achieve their goals. Who has the right to stop them?
Imagine during trade talks between countries, one side casually says, "Look, we are short on cash right now. If needed, we can move the border for you. Want this island?" That's absolutely unthinkable. But you're a guy in jeans. Your girlfriend says, "Wear pants. Jeans aren't grown up. You embarrass me." Say, "Stop, I like jeans." You swallow it, changing your style back and forth, and after a year you can't recognize yourself. Then you see a therapist and say, "I feel really insecure." It all starts small. Your task is to clearly realize that you cannot hold, defend, and establish what you yourself do not understand. Clearly realize what is important and a priority for you, and what is an absolute taboo. When I begin a relationship with anyone, business or romantic, I say, "I value you, love you. I chose you from many candidates. But the main condition in our interactions is this: I will continue to live my life as I lived before without you." Let's say I'm always late. I warn right away. I'll be late, not on time. It's just who I am, period. You? No. Formulate and understand what is important and a priority for you. And when they approach you to bargain on these issues, you can smile and say, "We don't trade borders. I won't hand them over to Venka for tobacco. Do you know that's a proverb, or not?
You don't know?
Venka gets a dick up his ass for the attack. Menka gets a red star for her cunt. A year ago, during a Red Square parade, a woman lost a heel and finished marching wearing only one shoe. All the commentators, everyone online, went nuts. She's super cool. Look, later on she got an award, a distinction. What happened to a guy who lost a boot on Red Square during parade? They'd yank it out his mouth through his ass. Some can, others can't. Question: how do you become someone who's allowed? Why could Steve Jobs be an asshole and no one complain or remember? But you glance wrong at him, you're an abuser. The general idea is that we want to be accepted for who we are. We know about our objective flaws and shortcomings, and we kind of beg for forgiveness for them. We apologize for them. We feel guilty and ashamed. Actually, another strategy. Look at Steve Jobs, Muhammad Ali, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Read their biographies. In real life, these people were, well, pardon my language, incredibly, well, bad guys. There, they cheated on wives, framed rivals, lied, tears and insults, any manipulation, the filthiest tricks, at home, at work, anywhere. Remembered as wonderful, sweet, chocolatey, incredible, friendly, just a cutie. Why? That's how society is structured. You'll be forgiven for anything if you're worth it. Simple example. Your music teacher or sports coach, he can be strict, demanding, on the edge of madness. But if he got you results and you started succeeding, or if you even became champions of some sort, how will you feel about him? Yes, that's what he's like, but that's what makes him great. If you want to be respected and valued, a much better strategy is not to fall on your knees and beg for forgiveness every time for being this, that, or the other. Instead, clearly perform your function, be competent, be effective, and solve the problems of those around you. Then you will be forgiven for absolutely everything. Nobody likes sad people. I'm like that now. We're discussing self-respect. Whether you're sad or cheerful, it's very simple. Power is tightly tied to status. The issue isn't having hardships. Everyone does. In fact, accomplished, influential, famous people indeed face far more hardships than an ordinary worker. It's about how a person deals with it. Never complain, never explain, and never whine. Because you might even be factually right and win some sympathy, but your status and the perception of your image will be built up over a long time. And when you observe or interact with a person for a year, 2, or 3, and all you remember is how talented they are at explaining things away, making excuses, and complaining, you will be categorized as someone who doesn't deserve much respect. And when you've known a person for several years and can't recall a single time they fell into pessimism or blamed something or someone to explain their failures, that's a completely different level of aura, a completely different level of trust in that person, and a completely different level of reputation, which, of course, can be profitably and effectively used to your advantage.
Show me how you fight. Show me who you are.
If you want to be as invisible as possible, so that absolutely everyone doesn't give a damn about you, so that no one can remember your name or recall your face on the 12th try, then be as accommodating as possible. Solve other people's problems, take care of things you weren't asked to, always be on time, anticipate every need, interrupt mid-word because you know how. In short, be the kind of person that's impossible to live without, like air. Oh, wait, nobody gives a damn about air. I have an idea for talks on confidence, status, demand, oxygen. We can't live without it. 6 minutes means brain dead. Our whole life depends on it. Who has ever stood and said, "Thanks for air"? The thing is, the formula for maximum disrespect, for being completely unwanted and unnoticed, is this. No matter how useful or essential you are, if your presence comes at no cost, no one will ever remember you. So that's the catch. There are so many things our lives depend on. So many. We only think about the things we have to pay for. That's all we care about, and we try to win people over by becoming useful to them. They don't appreciate me. I'll become even more useful. I'm not appreciated. I'll be nicer, more loving. They won't. People value those who are hard to get. And it takes tremendous moral will and strength not to sell yourself out for free, not to give yourself away for free. I'm sitting here. An old friend I haven't seen in 20 years texts, "Help me." And this savior reflex immediately kicks in for me, and I sit and think, why am I doing this? Well, of course, I want him to think well of me, of course. I want to be a worthy and respected person. But will he truly appreciate my gesture? In 20 years, did he ever call to ask how I was? Once trouble hit, he appeared immediately. Cutthroat world. Helping's great. Me too. But helping others at the expense of your own status comes to an end very quickly. Burnout, depression, loss of meaning in life, unwillingness to work, and when you hit rock bottom, believe me, there will be no one around to help you. You will have to deal with it yourself. Please drop a plus in the chat or comments if you've lived this, because young people won't believe it. They'll think it's nonsense. If you rose up, started helping and giving, and ended alone, write about it as a warning. Until they face it, they won't understand.